A few months ago, I had a question that wouldn't leave my mind. If I lost everything today and only had 100 left, how quickly could I turn it into real money? Not through crypto, not through stocks, not through some get rich quick scheme. I wanted to do it using a skill that could be repeated over and over again. So I gave myself a challenge: turn $100 into 1,000 in 1 week. And surprisingly, I did. In this video, I'm going to walk through exactly what I did, how I found the opportunity, how I got my first leads, and why local lead generation might be one of the most underrated online business models right now. I think the interesting part is I didn't sell a product, I didn't run an agency, and I didn't even perform the service myself. I simply connected customers with businesses that needed more work. Let me explain. When most people think about making money online, they think they need some special skill. Maybe they need to become a copywriter, a web designer, a video editor. Or maybe they think that they need thousands of dollars to start. But businesses all over the country have one problem in common: they need customers. And customers are incredibly valuable. If you can consistently send customers to a business, they'll happily pay you for it. That's where this whole strategy begins. The first thing I did was find a local service niche. I'm talking about businesses like roofing, tree removal, concrete, pressure washing, landscaping, and things like that. These businesses often make hundreds or even thousands of dollars from a single customer. That means a lead can be worth a lot of money. Me personally, I normally do a 60-40 split. I spent a few hours researching local markets and looking for opportunities where the competition wasn't overwhelming. Once I found one, I bought a domain and built a simple website. Nothing fancy, no crazy design, no expensive branding, just a clean website that clearly explained the service. The total cost was around $100. It was a little less though. You could probably do it for less. Domain, hosting, a few tools. That was it. Now, here's where most people quit, because the next step requires patience. I focused on getting the website ranked. I optimized pages around local search terms. I started a Google business profile and I ranked it up there. I created service pages, location pages, basic content, and I made sure everything was structured properly. At first, nothing happened. No calls, no forms, no traffic. Honestly, the first day it felt like I had wasted my money. But then a few days later, something changed. I checked the site and noticed it was starting to appear for few local searches. This is because I had my family and just people know, and like local people in the area add reviews to it, so it ranked higher up on Google Maps. Not on page one, but close enough. And shortly after that, I got my first lead. I'll never forget it. A notification popped up. Someone had filled out a form requesting service. It wasn't a huge moment financially, but mentally, it changed everything because now I had proof. The system worked. The website was generating opportunities, and I didn't have to do a single thing after this. The next question was simple though. How do I monetize these leads? How do I monetize these leads? Most people think you need to own the service business. You don't. Instead, I started reaching out to local companies. I told them I had customer inquiries coming in, and I wanted to send those leads to them. But instead of charging a flat fee up front, I offered a revenue sharing arrangement. So it kind of builds trust between us. But instead of basically if they closed the job, I'd get a percentage, 60-40 split. This made the conversation much easier. The business owner wasn't taking any risk. They were only paid if they made money, and same the other way around. They only paid me if I made money. And because these leads were exclusive, they were interested. The first few before I go on, you got to target people who like don't have a lot of jobs. So then they're like, "Oh, wow, you're helping me get jobs. Obviously, I'll pay you." The first few conversations weren't perfect when I was looking for contractors. Some business owners ignored me, some weren't interested, some thought it sounded too good to be true, but eventually I found someone willing to test it, and that's when things started moving. The next lead came in, then another and another, and this was all in a couple days. Every time a customer reached out, I forwarded the lead to a business, And every time they closed a deal, I got paid, which, by the way, it was almost 100% of the time they closed the deal because the people are already looking for a service. So it's just if you can do it or not. The beautiful thing about this model is that you're not trading time for money. You're building an asset. The website continues generating opportunities whether you're working or not. That's completely different from most side hustles. With freelancing, when you stop working, the income stops. With food delivery, when you stop driving, the income stops. But with lead generation, the website can continue producing leads day after day. By the middle of the week, I was seeing momentum, more traffic, more inquiries, more confidence. And at this point, I realized something. The goal wasn't actually to make 1,000. The goal was to prove the process. Because if a website can generate one paying lead, it can generate 10. If I can generate 10, it could generate 50. And if you repeat the process across multiple websites and multiple markets, and the potential comes much larger, and this is where the scale comes in. By the end of the week, I had crossed the 1,000 mark. It was a little over, starting from initial investment of around $100, which, to be honest, you can do this for free. Now, was it easy? Not really. Did it happen overnight? Also, no. There was research involved. I watched Eric Velk. You can go check him out. He's on YouTube. He has about 4K subscribers. He deserves more. He's great. And I mean, there was research involved. Yeah, website setup, SEO work, outreach, follow-up, testing. A lot of people only see the result and assume it was luck. But what they don't see are the hours spent learning the process. I mean, hours, I mean 2 hours. It wasn't that much. This is a great business model you got to get into if you want to make quick money. And there's so much scale opportunity. The failed attempts, the mistakes, the adjustments, that's what actually creates the outcome. And honestly, the money wasn't even the most exciting part. It was actually just getting the leads. Because once a website gains traction, it doesn't reset back to zero every month. It can keep growing. It can keep generating calls. It can keep producing opportunities all while you're sitting at home. And if you master this, you can literally create it. You can turn it into a auto business, because what happens is you can pay people in the Philippines about 4 an hour to take these calls for you, and you can teach them how to give them to your contractors. So while you're sitting gaming, whatever you want to do, me personally, I was doom scrolling, and the Filipinos, they're awesome. They work for a low price and they just automate it for you. So you're sitting around and there's money in your bank account. I think if you want to try this, you could probably hit 10K in a month if you really just spend 2 hours a day on it, and you will hit 10K. I promise you. If you have any questions, just comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.